Howdy folks, and today we're looking at how to paint Visarch for the Aeldari range. So, to start off with, I've primed the model black, did a white highlight, and then used fire red from the Vallejo range to get the red armor effect. So straight after I've done that, I started working on the sword, which you're seeing here now. And I have used a mixture of colours here. I started off with scale colour Caribbean blue, and as I was working on the model I was adding a bit of white to it. So basically, as we were doing the model where I thought that there should be a bit more light, I just added white to Caribbean blue and made the colour brighter, and just did a couple of highlight spots on it. Now on the darker areas I've used oh god, the name of this, Aotake Azul Blue. That's from model air color 71419 is the exact number. So for the cape, I have used magic blue, and to highlight the cape I've used sea grey from the Vallejo range as well. So also using sea grey on the fur bit, and then using Astra Granite on the base. That's from Games Workshop. Now I do prefer using the sand normally, but this just makes it a little bit quicker to do the videos. And I mean, I've got the pots there, so I thought I might as well use it, otherwise it's just going to be sitting there and not being used. So on the armor, I've used vermilion, so I did a dry brush of that all over the model, and that is from the Vallejo range. I suppose you could use something like Vazdaka Red or Evil Sun Scarlet from the Games Workshop range. That's an alternative which you could use. Now I did use an orange as well. It was hot orange to be specific, but if I'm being honest with you, I didn't really see much of a transition on the armor at that point. I should have initially done this a lot earlier, but what actually happened was I got a little bit of another color on the red, so I thought I'd try and touch it up by dry brushing the armor. So here I'm using Nuln Oil as to give a texture to the base. So yeah, just doing that all over the base, waiting for it to dry. And then doing the same thing on the fur. So whilst we're using Nuln Oil, we might as well do the fur, you know what I mean? So for the robe, where it's got in front of him, I used Sand Beige from Vallejo as well. So here we're using Longbeard Grey from Games Workshop. So it's just doing a dry brush on the fur, making it a lot nicer, making it stand out a lot more. So I used a dab of PVA on the tuft and just pressed it down with my finger. So then we've got some grass on the base as well. Here I'm using Retributor armor for all the gems, and then after we've done that, we're using corn red on the little tassel bit of the sword. So after we've done that, I am using Xandri dust on all the little ropes and strings that are on the model. You could use any other colour. I suppose you could have gone for a brown or something. So it doesn't really matter what colour you do it. Completely up to you. The rim of the base, I used Abaddon black. Now I don't really like Games Workshop's black, but if you thin it down, it tends to go on a lot nicer, I find. So the green gems, the base colour of the green gem is Dark Angel's green to start with, and so we're just doing that on the green gem. So there's quite a few of them, to be honest with you. And after we've done that, we will use Escorpena green, followed by a white dot in the upper right corner and here I am using Corex White for that. The eyes, we will use Avalon Sunset from the Games Workshop range. And I think the yellow really complements the red armour in this particular case. I've noticed there's a couple of bits that I haven't done on him. There's a couple of silver bits and bobs, like the spike on top of his helmet. So in this particular case, we're using lead belcher, and I think that's quite a nice colour there. So on the robe, just to darken it, I thought I could do a recessed shade on it, but I thought I'll go for an all over shade. So I've used Agrex Earthshed and I've thinned it down quite a lot with thinner and just gone all over the robe. So now I'm doing a highlight on the eye, and the colour that we're using here is Flash Kits Yellow. After we've done that, we're using Ulrich Armour Gold, and we're using that on all the golden parts to do our first highlight on the gold. So after we've done that, we'll be using Liberator Gold for our second highlight, followed by Stormhost Silver for the third and sort of final highlight of it, and we're literally just doing that on the sharpest edges of the model. The strings we're going to be highlighting with Oshapti Bone. So I had to think about that then. I am trying to remember all the colours from the top of my head. And the tassel on the end of his sword that we did corn red earlier, we're going to be shading with Nuln Oil. So yeah, that's the model pretty much done. I thought it's quite a simple model to do. I mean, the most complicated thing to do on this model was actually the gems. There's just so many of them. I suppose the sword was a little bit, I wouldn't say it was tricky. It was just a case of just, blending sort of the colours together with an airbrush. Now I do use the airbrush a lot in my videos. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but to be honest with it, it really speeds up your painting. So I would very much highly recommend that if you can, just dish out 100 quid or so on an airbrush. It would make your life so much easier. It would really speed up your painting, and it means you'll at least have base colours done and ready for your next battle. Thanks very much for watching, really appreciate it. If you could smash that like button and a subscribe would be really appreciated as well. Thank you, bye bye.